This meeting is being recorded.
Oh wow, that was awfully formal. Awfully formal.
I know.
Mate, it is what it is. It is what it is. Dude, I feel like I gotta say, like, welcome my strong friends, like the old Meg squats.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Mate, how was the CrossFit Total video? How did it make you feel?
That was crazy. I'm still kind of on a high from that. But the whole thing leading up to that, I was supposed to max out on Wednesday, and I actually hurt my back on Monday.
Oh shit.
So I hurt my back, and I wasn't really able to stand up fully on Tuesday and had to take 3 days off of training. Yeah, 3 days off of training, just rested. And then Friday, I did a really, really light session, just technique work, because now I'm kind of transitioning. I'm just doing Olympic lifting, but I still squat a ton. And deadlifts, I do more of clean pulls and stuff like that. So I wanted to do the total with my gym. So I was like, I'll just rest up, and did it on Saturday. Did not expect any of that. I wasn't even trying to get close to my maxes or anything like that. I just wanted to be the strongest in the gym and like win that. But I wasn't planning on PRing or doing anything too crazy. And so I totally surprised myself. And that's wild. So wild. And I had more in the tank too, which is even crazier.
But it's funny, like sometimes you gotta lay down the law, being the coach, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, super crazy. So that was fun. And I had a lot of coaches stay and watch me, and people cheer me on. And so that always adds like extra 10 pounds to all your lifts when people are like freaking out for you. So, and I didn't expect CrossFit to post it. But Christine Brander, she's a games athlete. She's one of the owners of the gym that I go to, and she reached out to CrossFit and just sent it to them and like, you need to repost this. So that's probably how they got a hold of that and posted it. So very cool, very wild.
Well, I think it's awesome too, man. Like publicizing chicks lifting an obscene amount of weight.
Yeah, what the heck? I don't know how that happened, but let's go.
Well, you did it. You picked it up. That's how it happened. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, I get a lot of people asking me like, how did you get so strong? Like, what did you do? And it's like, I don't really have an answer for it. Besides, like, I've been lifting for a long time, but it just kind of out of the blue one day, whenever you're so consistent, I just really started surprising myself a couple of years ago. Like, wow, I wonder how far I could go with this. Like, how far could I take this? So
yeah, I slept and I picked things up.
Yeah.
And did it for a while.
Yes, exactly. Do you do more CrossFit now?
Coaching wise, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll jump in the old classes. You know, you've got to practice what you preach, and I'll do about 3 to 5 a week.
Nice.
Depending on how many of these I do, what I get done, and all that type of stuff. But I try and get about 3 or 5 classes done. And then I do like one day. Fridays is my just snatch and squat.
Nice.
That's kind of like my day where I can just sit with the barbell. I can have a conversation with it. You know, I don't have to worry about the clock. It's nice.
Yeah. I've been coaching for about 4 years now, which is crazy. But since March, I've just been doing Olympic lifting. And that kind of takes everything out of you. Like when you spend all day doing just that training, it is exhausting. So I think I've done about 3 CrossFit classes since March, which is wild. Like, because I'm still coaching and stuff, but I just can't. I don't have the energy and the time to fit that in as well when I'm training for comps. So I need to start incorporating it more. It'd be good to get some cardio in, because the only thing I do cardio wise is walking, and that's a little sketchy every once in a while. You need to be doing something to get your heart rate up. So
back squat 5s. That's all you need.
Yeah, that feels like cardio. That's for sure. My coach programs a lot of AMRAPs, like at your 75% AMRAP. I'm just like, that will do it.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, yeah.
Mate, like it's hard juggling the athlete hat and the coaching hat at the same time because you said it, obviously it burns out all the energy and you got now to give. And especially in a sport like weightlifting, because it just slaps your nervous system. And you're like, well, what else have
Totally.
you got? You just got to sit down, your knees are sore, your back's sore, you want to sleep, you want to eat. And now you've got to give these folks 100% of your energy. I wouldn't be on your own back about hitting some CrossFit classes.
Yeah, that is so true. It definitely is super taxing, but it makes it easy. Like I go to the best gym in Missouri. It's absolutely phenomenal. We have great members, so it's easy to show up and be there for them. But yeah, there are days where I'm just like, I can't even, rolling in bed is just hard as my central nervous system is so fried. It's crazy. And I didn't expect that to ever be the case. Like I was like, maybe I'll just do powerlifting because I'm good at squat, bench, deadlift, like those. That's kind of my bread and butter. But it was actually my cousin. He's an Olympic lifter and he qualified for nationals last year. And he just told me straight up, you kind of suck at these lifts. Like you're bad at snatch and your clean's okay, but your jerk sucks. And I kind of like that criticism. That kind of puts a fire under me. And so I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I ended up hiring a coach. He's awesome and qualified for nationals in 2 months. And then went to nationals for my first comp, which was really cool. Pretty scary, but it was awesome. So that's kind of my journey right now.
And now you're just on full steam ahead on the weightlifting train?
Yeah, full steam ahead. I did AO finals out in Wilmington, North Carolina in December, and then qualified for nationals there. So I'll be training for nationals this year. And then we've got state coming up in April. So I'm training for that. And I think I got like 3 comps this year, 3 or 4. So
I love the weightlifting scene because you can compete a lot more often than the powerlifting scene.
see, I didn't know that. I'm pretty naive when it comes to that. That's cool.
Yeah, like
but you can only peak so much for a comp. Like it takes so much out of you. So yeah.
But you're not gonna hit close to your absolute max on a snatch and a clean and jerk that regularly. Especially at like a local comp, you could just train through the comp, have a little bit of fun, and cruise through it, especially at a level like yourself. And then maybe national, international, then you start fucking around with tapering and you go for it, right? Look, this is
that was a big reality check for me when I started weightlifting last year. Like if I put my effort into something, typically I'll like get all those little PRs. You know how like whenever you're kind of like a newbie, like I was almost still in that. It felt like I would PR like close to every session. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then now I've hit a point where it's like, I'm not PRing every time. And it's like, it's a little soul crushing because it's like when you get a PR, that kind of just puts a fire under you again and you get excited. But, you kind of have to fall in love with the grind totally and enjoy all that, even if you're not PRing.
How do you keep yourself focused on that?
Man, I really just kind of revolve my life around health and fitness. Wake up in the morning. My morning routine is directed towards feeling good, mobility, stretching, getting my mental state right, reading, journaling. And then I typically go to the gym and I'll coach like a morning class. So I'm around that all the time and I'm kind of doing the warm up with people. So I'm constantly like priming myself to be in the gym. I work at a chiropractic office. So then when I go into work, I do all soft tissue. I'm the soft tissue specialist there. So I'm working on athletes. I'm working on people, the muscles, all that kind of stuff, helping people move better. And then right after work, I go in and I train and then I'll coach. So I'm constantly excited for that because I'm constantly surrounding myself with things of that nature. And there's so much more I can give. Like I have so much more in me that I can do like on the platform. And I haven't tapped into that yet. Like I'm still learning technique. There's still so many things I can refine. And that's the thing about weightlifting is you're never going to get a perfect snatch or a perfect clean and jerk. It's always something you can refine and break down. Like, it is such a technical sport, and it's great. It's beautiful. And it's
addictive.
Tough. So it's addictive. Yeah, it really is. I thought I was just going to go to nationals and have fun and like just say I did that. But it really is crazy how you just like, I'll fall asleep and I'll just be thinking about the lifts, and I just find myself thinking about it all day, every day. And it's like, this is crazy. It's just a barbell. But yeah, I'm obsessed.
Maybe that's a sign that you're the one that's crazy, mate.
Yeah, crazy. That's a good word.
Possibly,
Definitely
yeah.
that.
Must go with the blonde.
Yeah, I know, right? It's all the hair dye seeping into my brain.
Well, at least I got the excuse of I'm a natural blonde. But mate,
I actually am too. But I've gotten highlights down here throughout the years. So, yeah. Anyway, you go on. I know. Come on.
Wait,
dirty blonde.
Dirty blonde. It's all right. I get bloody ginger in my beard, so that's even dirtier, you know. But mate, it's so addictive, those little marginal gains of moving the barbell. You know, I'm going to use the term virtuosity here. It's a bit of a buzzword with the whole CrossFit scene, right? But in a virtuous manner. Somebody can watch, I don't know, a PVC pipe or an empty bar and be like, holy shit, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
that's so true.
Chasing that feeling is so addictive.
It really is. I wish I could share it with more people, because like so many people don't know where to start with fitness, you know, and they want to get into working out. They want to get into training. And it's like, once you start and once you find something that you love, that lights you up, that you're passionate about, like, there's no going back. Like, it's not something you're going to have to just struggle with. If you're not into working out in the first place, like, you're going to want to be in the gym. You're going to want to work on something and be better. So yeah, I wish more people understood that and would be willing to try new things, because it's scary to try like a different sport that you've never done, you know?
That's included CrossFitters getting out of a CrossFit gym, right?
Yeah.
Trail running, like mountain biking, ice skating, or just something random, right? Like dance. You know, like go do something. You know, you might fall in love with something else. You might meet new people, hear new perspectives.
And that's the cool thing about CrossFit. It's like, that's the whole purpose of it, is functional fitness, to where you're able to take all these skills, gymnastics and weightlifting and all this stuff, outside of the gym to do something kind of practical and fun. But I get that CrossFit, you know, itself is addictive. And so sometimes that takes up so much time that people don't get out and they don't do stuff that kind of CrossFit trains you for. So I'm a big believer in that. I love, yeah, exactly. I'm a big fan of that.
Regularly learn and play new sports, right? It's the last line of fitness in 100 words. You know, anything. It could be working on a little bit of hand-eye coordination or finger dexterity or fucking like anything, balance. You know, those like tightrope things that you see the hippies use. That shit blows my mind. You know, they're doing pistol squats on this like weird tightrope. Slackline. That's it. Yeah. Clearly, I'm a friggin' pro at it. Pistol squats on this like weird tightrope. Clearly, I'm a friggin' pro at it.
Yeah, right. So slacklining is crazy, but have you seen hunting?
No, what's that?
Where they go over a massive, like, they're on a cliff, and you're a hard line, but it's called high lining. So they do it over a massive drop off a cliff or a ravine, and they slackline across it, and they'll fall off, but they'll have a harness on and it will catch them. I'm like, that's a whole different breed. Like, those people are not human. That's crazy.
See, I've got like
balls. I couldn't do that. That's crazy.
I got an addictive personality, and I'm kind of scared where it ends up. You know, I get addicted to certain things, and I'm like, if I continue with this, I'm going to end up doing some weird shit like that. And I'm like, if I continue with this, I'm going to end up doing some weird shit.
And you could very well die. But that's the risk in it. It's worth taking the risk if you enjoy it. I mean, have you ever seen those free soloers and the people who rock climb without any gear, like Alex Honnold or those freaks?
Yeah, that's not for me. I'm not
They'll climb
that
like
light.
3,000-foot walls with no gear, no nothing.
Yeah, that's not for me. I'm not that light.
And you have to go into that every single do that, knowing like, okay, this could be my last time on earth, you know? Like you have to be prepared for stuff like that. But yeah, at least with weightlifting and CrossFit, you don't have to go into a workout like this is going to be my last workout ever because this could kill me.
Well,
but at least that won't be the outcome.
definitely feels like it, yeah. Well, definitely feels like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes for sure.
I think it's because people like that tranquility of mindset where they are free of thought. People like that tranquility of mindset where they are free of thought.
Yeah, that I think I agree with that. Like people are able to get into flow, that flow state.
Clear their mind, and it's basically, well, for Alex Honnold's example, he's basically looking at the face of death, right? Which is a little bit mental, but they are not thinking about anything else. It is just clearing their mind, and where is my finger going next? Where is my foot going next? You know, it is just clearing their mind. Crazy. Where is my finger going next? Where is my foot going next? You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. And that's a lot of like weightlifting as well. Like when you're moving the barbell, especially the nickel, like constantly thinking about, okay, I mean, it gets to a point where you don't have to think and you can just do it and execute it perfectly. But it is something I have to do the mental reps. It's very so.
Of how when you can move basically on autopilot, and every rep looks the same. Basically on autopilot. That shit is like crack cocaine. Every rep looks the same. That shit is like crack cocaine.
I'm not there yet. That's crazy. Yeah.
Looking like empty barbell.
That's the best feeling ever when you're perfect. Like
empty barbell.
Oh, barbell? Yeah. Even then, like I'll still do it. Sometimes I'm like, wow, what am I doing? Like why I choose this sport, you know? And those are the best reminders of like that's why I chose this, because I'm not great at it and I would like to be great at it. So, you know, it's good to do stuff that you suck at, because you know, you're going to suck when you first start something, but it's very rewarding to go in that.
What are you chasing? What are you chasing?
I'm thinking, I want to do my best.
Be back.
Yeah. Can you see me?
I can now.
I don't know what happened.
Dude, it's just the internet. You know, that is just some make-believe thing that doesn't exist in my world.
It's so stupid. That's
Don't worry
okay.
about it. Like, we'll get those polystyrene cups with a string next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, sweet.
Let's go back to those days. That would be awesome.
Mate, I am a firm believer of I will send postcards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to flick you an
100%.
email. I'll write you a little letter. It'll be on a postcard. It'll take fucking 4 months to get there. I'm more than like you'll have seen me in that time, you know. But like the sentiment is still there, you know. I think like handwriting and a little stamp or like a little picture or something, you know, just kind of send it off like a little notebook, even like shit like this.
100%. Yes. My husband, he is actually in the National Guard and he just left for basic training like 9 days ago. So he's in South Carolina for a month. Nope, 3 months, 10 weeks. And we've been writing letters. I've been writing letters back and forth with him. And that's so sweet. Like those are things you get to keep forever. And you put so much time and effort into that. And yeah, I'd like to go back to those days. And sometimes it's good. Technology is a blessing and a curse. So
I think we take it
it's
for
all about
granted
balance.
too much, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's that whole thing of like, oh, what you up to? How's your day been? I was like, mate, if I'm always talking to you about how my day's been, I'm not doing anything in my day.
Yeah. Yeah, so true. It's so important nowadays, like when we have social media and we have all these avenues to communicate with people, to really have those relationships where you can get deep and communicate on a whole new level with people, because everything is pretty shallow nowadays, and it's important to have those people where you can be totally vulnerable with and get into the weeds of life and what's going on.
And that's the beauty of coaching too, right? Like you really do get into the weeds of these folks' lives, obviously when they open up on their own, not us prying, digging in. But you understand them at such a deeper level.
That is so true. That's one of my greatest joys in coaching, is like when someone walks through the doors and they're doing this workout, like I know their family, I know their dog, I know their jobs, like I know what's going on in their lives. And that creates such a great avenue of trust, to where like if you give them a coaching cue, like they're going to listen to you and they're going to implement it, because they have that relationship already built with you, and they know that you have their best interest in mind and that you care for them, like on a completely different level other than fitness. It's so great.
Yeah, I think about this stuff probably too much, right? But I think people are really craving that type of connection, and they're craving to be
100%.
seen, right? We kind of retreat into a sea of people, and it's just like, oh, that's another face, or that's just another name, like just in a sea of names. And it's like, well, we're losing the personal touch. We're losing the individual. And there's always a story. Everybody's got a story, and there's beauty and lessons to be found in all of them. And I think we just get a little bit of a scratching the surface of that, and we get paid, and can pay our bills by doing it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that stems from just everyone being obsessed with being productive nowadays. Like, how productive is it to just sit and have a conversation with a friend and catch up with them, when you could be doing this and that and this and that, everything on your to-do list? Like people just, they want to have that sense of, I'm being productive and I'm getting everything done that I need to get done today, instead of like, oh, I'm just being and living and slowing down. I think it's so important.
That's a really great point. I think a lot of folks think they're productive, but they're actually just busy.
Yeah, totally. And your mind is, when you're in that state, because I've been there so many times, I'm saying all this stuff, but I'm still working on that, actively.
Yeah.
Your mind is so busy. Like you're not at peace when you're just so consumed with your schedule and the things you got to get done. Like your mind, you're just racing all the time. And inner peace is good. Like that's something to be sought after.
I think the coaches out there are better at partitioning their mind, because it doesn't matter whatever you've got going on. As soon as the class starts, the folks in front of you require 100% of your attention.
Yeah, that's how it should be. But I feel like even nowadays, people can easily get by with half-assing it and not giving their full attention, and that's sad, because I feel like most people nowadays, like they can read people. Like if you're half-assing your class as a coach, like people can read and see straight through that.
Of course.
And that's super unfortunate.
That would. I think back to this one time. This was fucking years ago. This is probably 9 years ago or something. I was taking a morning class. It was middle of winter. It's pitch black. It's fucking freezing.
Love that.
Huddle, right. shivering me tits off, like writing the board. Member
Yes.
comes in and sees the HUD's up, right? Anyway, we have a good class. I thought I did a good job. I end up bumping into this member about 3 weeks later. We're around, everybody's having a good time, a little bit of a dance, a little bit of a drink. They come up to me and say, "You enjoy your job?" I say, "I love my job. You know, I get to help individuals all the time. Like, I get to know you people. Yeah." And she turns around and says, "Well, it seemed like you just didn't care because we came in and your HUD was up."
Hmm.
And mate, I think about
Wow.
that at least once a week.
Oh, geez.
Like, I'm
That's
like, that will
crazy.
never fucking happen again.
Yeah.
You know, and they
Yeah,
do.
get-
They read everything. You know, it's like people don't remember the rules you follow; they remember the rules you break.
Very, very true. That also kind of reminds me of something that I love, like a saying. It's just like never make assumptions.
Mm.
You know, like because he walked into the gym. I'm sure he's great, but he saw your hood up and he kind of made an assumption like, oh, you don't really care or you don't really love your job. When in reality, you're just freezing your tits off, you know? And so it's like asking for clarity and like being open and honest and not making assumptions about people is like super big on my list now. Like I'm kind of just now implementing this. I read a book called The Four Agreements. It's really great. And yeah, don't make assumptions ever, because 9 out of 10 times you're probably wrong or you're missing something. So
yeah, prejudice is a killer of connection, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Something that I'm learning probably every day.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, definitely. Learning new things every day.
Again, I'm too blunt. You know, it takes me a while, but anyway.
Yeah. Amen. So long.
Mate, I got 3
I'm
questions.
just kidding. Yeah, let's go.
What's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
That's a good question. This kind of sounds cliche, but live your life and do not care what anyone thinks about you. Live it to yourself, you know, and it really, when you think about other people and what they're thinking of you and how they view you, like that steals so much joy. And the times in my life where I've been the happiest and I've been the most genuine and real is when I was just living, not thinking about what other people were thinking or feeling about me, but just living basically on my own terms and doing things at a high level, but not caught up in the noise.
It's hard to do, right?
That's so hard to do. How many people actually do that, you know? No one does that. No one goes throughout their entire life or their day. No one goes throughout their day and probably they have a thought like, what is that person thinking of me? Or they say something specific, so that person has a specific reaction. Like everything we do is kind of dictated by other people's thoughts, which is crazy. Like I don't want to live my life like that.
Yeah,
No way.
I wrote something down a while back. It's like life's a game. Figure out the rules you want to play the game by, and don't expect anybody else to play by the same rules.
Amen. That's awesome. That's now my new best life advice I've ever got.
Oh,
that right there. Yeah, let's go.
Just talk shit. You know?
No, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's we're all in our own little bubble, man. You know?
Yeah.
And you'd never know if
exactly.
you didn't expand that bubble and go talk to people or go live with people or just interact with folks just from different places, man. You know, like we're all so different, but we're all so bloody similar at the same time.
Yeah.
Mate, what's the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
Oh, that showing emotion and vulnerability is a weakness.
Oh yeah.
I used to not be super emotional and vulnerable because I quite literally thought it was weak, and I've never liked being weak physically or mentally or emotionally or anything. So I wouldn't ever express like sadness or anything like that. And so now I'm kind of shifting and my life is so much more free. Like when I'm vulnerable and open with people, it's crazy what that will do to you. But yeah, that life advice sucks. Like, it's good to be emotional and vulnerable with those that you love. And especially if you want it in return. Like, people want people to be open with them, but if they're not open with anyone, like, don't expect it. So
vulnerability and honesty. Two traits that I think more people need to adopt.
Yeah, seriously. I'm still working on that for sure.
Oh, fuck, aren't we all, man? You know?
Yeah.
All right, last question. What are the 3 words you tell your younger self?
My younger self?
Yeah. 3 words.
I would say love yourself first. And then let me clarify, because that sounds kind of selfish. I grew up, where it's God first, other second, you third, right? That's like kind of the standard in the Bible Belt where I'm from in Missouri. And you just really don't learn how to genuinely appreciate who you are and your differences with other people, because you're constantly putting other people first, or you're scared to love yourself well because that's such a selfish thing to do. But I think when you love yourself and put yourself first, you set yourself up for success to love other people well and have genuine connection. Because you see so many people now who are adults and they don't even know who they are, because they've just kind of spent their whole life kind of floating and going along with the crowd and not really taking time to understand and love who they are. So they're having to play a lot of catch up and even getting to know themselves. So I'd say love yourself first, because then you'll be able to serve and love and help other people from a genuine standpoint.
What order would you put them in now?
Oh, the love God, love others, love yourself? I would say they're more at a level. So instead of like looking at a skyscrapers, you're looking from a bird's eye view in their level. Like if I'm looking at you, like I can see like basically God in you, and people are so unique and so special, and we all have that like divine spark. And so if I can look at someone and genuinely see them like as God sees them, I think you've won. I think that's like the greatest thing ever. And see that in yourself. Like, how many people look in the mirror and they don't love who they are? Like reflecting that, like how much we treat other people with respect. Like we need to also treat ourselves with the same love and respect that we treat other people with.
That's a really beautiful way of looking at people. And I'm going to be thinking about that for a while and digesting it. Thank you.
Heck yes. Yeah, of course.
Mate, thank you so much. This has been a fucking honor and a privilege, mate.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. Seriously.
Always. Talk shit whenever.
Talk soon. Yeah, I love it.
I hope the...
Over a decaf, cup of coffee.
A decaf?
Yeah, I'm doing that thing. Decaf.
You can have the decaf. Sorry. I'm going full caffeine, man.
I know.
I'll get all riled up, go down a rabbit hole, going off on a tangent. You have to reel me back in.
Always,
caffeine.
Always. Mate. I love going down the rabbit holes. Could do that all day.
Have a great day. Thank you. And we'll speak soon.
You too. Yeah, sounds great.
Bye, everybody.
Of course. Thank you.